Five. Yeah. Hang on here. Let me move that out of the way so I can get a few things up here. I gotta get, nope, don't need that one. Don't need that one. I do need that. That needs to get cut out. Overlays I don't need. Camera switcher I don't need. Yeah, we'll take the interviews and we'll put the interviews in there. All right, guys, we're kind of waiting to see if anybody comes in here. Probably not. Probably not now. So anyway, hey, good to see you all. And, wow, there's no comments, no nothing in there. I don't see who's in there. Everything is different. It's all different today, guys. Man, today, Justin's in there. Good. All right. Good morning, guys. Bob, K6UDA from the K6UDA radio show, and now from the 2 Alpha Ham Radio podcast. Welcome. Hey, today, kind of some cool stuff we're going to talk about today. Well, one of them's not so cool. I guess we'll just get right into that. That kind of sucks. I don't know how old you guys are, but I do remember back in 1989, even earlier than 1989, this witch named Dianne Feinstein. Dianne Feinstein of California, Democrat, California. She was the original, I don't even know if she was the original brainchild of the assault weapons ban from what was it, 94 assault weapons ban, or was it, it could have been from 1989. I know she was talking about it in 1989. And she famously said on camera, you know, if she could get away with it, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in. Turn in all your guns. That was her claim to fame. She was going to get rid of firearms. That's been her mission for, I don't know, 102 years. I think she's probably 127 now. She sure looks like it. Unbelievable. Dad! So, I'm going to turn that on to silent there. If anybody wants to get in, I guess, let's see. I don't have any of the things to put up, the call-in stuff. So we're just going to have to wing it today. Kind of trying to rebuild everything. And then Ecamm went here and changed up everything. So nothing works like it should. And actually this camera's blinking on me. So I think I'm going to have to switch camera 1 and camera 2 at some point. I can actually put up camera 2. And then maybe for next week, I'll just move them and I'll switch them out. But man, I sure like this picture. Anyway, right now we're talking about this new and improved assault weapons ban that Dianne Feinstein is trying to bring up in the United States Senate. I don't think it'll go anywhere, but don't ever underestimate the power of a vampire like Dianne Feinstein. Like I said, she's got a lot of experience. She's like 127 years old. She's been in Congress now for about 100 years. Um, I don't think she's ever had a real job. So once again, she's bringing this up, and now she wants to ban assault pistols, which up until I think last week didn't even exist until this brand new LA County sheriff, who's a freaking lefty. I know a lot of LA County guys, and they hate him. The guy isn't. He was a police chief for one of these small cities out in the LA area, and just a complete lefty. And anyway, they had a couple of shootings down there, a couple of mass casualty shootings, and all of a sudden, he comes up with an assault pistol. I don't know how he made that up. Fast thinking though. Gave him a whole new class of firearms to want to ban. So anyway, Dianne Feinstein, never to miss an opportunity to jump on the bandwagon there and do something like that. She has now put forth a new bill, just like the old 1994, or was it 89 or 94, one of the two, assault weapon bans. And forgive me, my fact checker is on vacation this week, so I don't have my my fact checker notes. And Mr. Snerdley, he was busy and couldn't fill in. So I have to kind of wing it here off the cuff. Let's see. Let's take a look at a couple of the comments over here. Actually, let me move that over here so I could see it. Wow. How cool is that? All right. Justin is in the house. Stuart is in the house from the old country there. Ron Nelson, VE3H or AHK in the house. Russell, greetings from Birmingham. I think that's Alabama. I'm going to Alabama this year. I'm going to Floribama for a little work reunion that we got up there. My illegitimate son here, Garrett, he's in the house there. And what's up? Nothing, dude. Just hanging out, doing nothing. Let's see. Sweden, SM0 FPR. Very, very cool. Hey, thanks for showing up there, all the way from Sweden. Jeff Seifert, TM, who is actually KN6 PWH, is in the house. LA, long time no video. Where have I been? I did one of these last week, and I put out 2 videos last week, and I'm working on a new video post Winter Field Day. Couple of new videos I'm working on, and we'll talk about one of them that'll be coming up. Yeah, but she is protected with yes, TM, very, very good. Oh man, that horrible color of those that I put up in the chat there. TM says, yeah, but she's protected with bodyguards with firearms. Funny how that works. What's good for me is not for thee. And, Gavin Newsom, wow, bless your little heart, as they say in the South when they want to tell you to F off. all these elites, they're going to protect themselves with bodyguards. But you say, oh, but they're bodyguards. But when these bodyguards are working for a person, they're not really, other than the president and maybe the Speaker of the House, they're not acting in the capacity of law enforcement. They're acting in the capacity of a bodyguard. And if these people want to have any credibility, they should walk around unarmed. And if these bodyguards, want to be bodyguards and use bear spray, or if they're, Billy Badass and they just want to, they're going to just kick ass, that's one thing. But no, these guys are all strapped, man. It's like MP5s under the shirts and, or under the jackets, and they're all completely strapped, dude. They're like SWAT teams. Trust me, I've seen them. I've been there, and I haven't done it because I wouldn't work for one of these pieces of garbage. Let's see who else is in the house. Let's see, 2E0 HFO. Greetings from the UK, man. I got a lot of guys from across the pond and across the sea. Great to see you from C. KD8 LHR in the house. Very, very cool. Greetings from KG7POU. And Garrett wants to know, when am I getting a K6 UDA OnlyFans? Man, do you guys want to see this? Are you ready? Are you ready for the OnlyFans version? So anyway, wanted to discuss that for just a few minutes. And again, guys, if you're, and I realize I got an international audience right now, but if you're in the U.S., this is the time right now to contact your legislators. And what's very, very cool is I've contacted all my legislators right after when they announced the new pistol brace rule, because that is going to affect millions upon millions of law-abiding people here in the U.S. And I contacted all my legislators, and I've gotten letters back. That's the beautiful thing in Idaho. As a matter of fact, which one was it? And I don't have my email up. One of the guys, as a result of my letter and possibly some others, has now stepped forth, and he's going to co-sponsor one of the bills in Congress. Well, he's co-sponsoring the new bill to take short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns off the NFA list. So basically, they're going to try to uncategorize these things as NFA items. I think that's a fantastic thing that they could do. I think it's the chances of passing a bill like that, they might be able to get it passed in the Senate, by 1 or 2 votes. They probably could pass it in the House. The problem is the president ain't never gonna sign it. Joe will thumb his nose at it. So I don't see anything like that getting passed. Likewise, though, this assault weapons ban, this is the time right now when they bring these things up and they start talking about them. Contact your legislators. and write them. Let them know that you oppose this stuff. And I know one of my letters, it was a little wordy. It got, it was long, and most of these guys now have these weird, you got to fill out a form online. Can't just send them an email anymore. And if you send it on the form now they'll get it and they answer you. But a lot of times you have to kind of, like, God, who was it? Reich, here in Idaho. He said, "Oh, you got a 1,500 word limit," and evidently my original letter that I wrote was over 1,500 words. You can go back and look at that video. And you could kind of use something like that as a form. I always say, be respectful, be nice, be businesslike. Even if you live in, New York or the People's Republic of California with a K, write those legislators. If they only hear from the people that agree with them, they think that's the way it is. They think the majority of their constituents believe as they do. I used to, when I lived in the People's Republic, I used to write Dianne Feinstein and Nancy Pelosi and who was it, Barbara Boxer, back in the day. I used to write them all the time. They would never agree with me, but they would always write back and say that it was like the same form letter. We'll agree to disagree. Oh, yeah. Because, I've been here for 127 years. Oh, no. Only 100 years. I'm 127 years old. You old hag. Man. Okay. So anyway, please, guys, write your legislators. And for those of you that are watching this after the fact or, on a replay, again, you've got to write your legislators if you care about these subjects at all. And if you don't care about them and you're just sticking around for the ham radio side, that's cool too, as long as you're watching and having a good time. That's kind of what this is all about, is us having a good time. Let's see a couple of things. Marty. Yeah, my brother Marty here says, hit that thumbs up. So we have 28 people in the house. We got 13 thumbs up. I got 1 thumbs down. There's Mrs. K6UDA. And you're live, baby.
Oh, hello.
So anyway, Eddie Haskell in the house. With the laughing emojis. I don't know, dude. Are you laughing at me, with me? I don't know. Whatever. You're laughing at the Dianne Feinstein. Anyway, smash that like from Steve. Yep. Bob from KD8, LHR Roger. Hello, Bob. Love your videos, brother. You make them very interesting and I enjoy watching them. Always got a thumbs up here. Dude, thank you. That's awesome. Love it. Ryan Warner, contempt of the people. Absolutely. And then SM6 UNC, greetings from Sweden. Yeah, I got to change that, the color of that. Let me do that right now. Let's see if I can. Corners, background, fixed position. I can't do it. Forget it. I'll have to do it offline and then figure it out. The NFA is unconstitutional. It is, but they allowed it. And we, the people, allowed this to go on since I think they introduced the NFA in 1932, I think. Is it? Or 1968? Can't remember. Again, my fact checker on vacation today. So if somebody wants to fill in as the fact checker for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's see. 1985, Shooting Star State of Virginia CB Radio. Live, because your thumbs up. Very, very cool. Let's see. Laughed at the idea of your OnlyFans. Eddie's laughing at my OnlyFans. But you know what? Wouldn't you pay $10.95 a month to see me bare my nipple? Ooh, I can't say that, can I? I can't say nipple on the air. Nipple, nipple, nipple. The NFA was 1934. Okay, Garrett is going to be my fact checker today. Thank you. Thank you, my illegitimate love child. Anyway, guys, so I have before me, and I'm going to pull this over here. A friend of mine, over the weekend, right before Winterfield Day, brought me a little present. Well, not so much a present, but man, this thing has got me hot. Ugh. A lot of you guys, when I did my shootout, and I, you know me, I do these shootouts all the time. Excuse me. The 991A versus the IC 7300. Now you guys know that I do. I love that 7300. I've had that radio for 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer. Man, I can't remember. Can't remember exactly. It's probably been 6 or 7 years. The IC 7300 has been around for a while. I don't think it's long in the tooth. It's a good SDR radio. But you know, there's new stuff coming along all the time. And I wanted to show you one of the new stuff that's coming down. I think it is the look down camera. So, the FTDX10 showed up here the other day. This thing, guys, let's go back over here. This radio, my buddy Lance brought it over. KB7 SQS. He's got he's kind of radio rich, and his main rig is the FTDX 101 or FT 101, which is kind of that version of a radio, but it's got 2 VFOs, built-in power supply. It's a high-end radio. ICOM has the 7850, which is their high-end radio, $7-8 grand. Flex has the 6700, $7-8 grand, $5 grand, whatever. Elecraft has the new K4, and that's, $5-ish grand right there. Yaesu came out, a few years back. They came out with that 991A, which I think is a good radio. I think it's the receiver is on par with the 7300. This one here, my buddy Lance, he donated it to science for a while, still his radio. But I'm going to do a review of it. And I think I'm going to reshoot out because a lot of you guys, when I did that 991 versus 7300, a lot of guys said, hey, a better comparison would be the 991 versus, or I mean the 7300 versus the FTDX10. So, and I, I told everybody, hey, I ain't made of money, and I'm not, I'm not Josh or Jason that gets everything sent to them. I can't just run down to HRO as much as I would have been able to had I still lived in the People's Republic. But I can't run down to HRO and go borrow one to do a review. Not an option. So if I'm going to buy, or if I'm going to get something to review now, I got to buy it. And it is what it is. But anyway, this thing showed up. We put it out in Studio B and used it over Winter Field Day as a 2 hotel. 2 in the, because we're less than 500 feet from the house into the shop. And trust me, guys, if it was even close, I would have stretched it and said it was a 2 indoor deal. But it was well within, I think, 250-ish feet from the house. So I called it a hotel. Oh, well. I was so impressed. I turned this thing on. He dropped it off. Just dropped it off, said, hey, I'll see you tomorrow. I turned it on, hooked it up, turned it on, and it is so freaking nice. The receiver in this thing, I think, is much more sensitive than the 7300. Not even a comparison. I would say the receiver on this radio is on par with the K3S that I've got out there, and it's much more on par with a high-end radio than it is with the typical entry-level radio. And from what I understand, they're about $1,500-$1,600-ish MSRP, and I could buy one right now. Hint, hint. I'm thinking about it very, very hard. For I think $1,350-ish. At some of the, at some of the big box ham stores, HRO, DX Engineering, MTC. I think I'm really, really thinking about this very, very hard. Anyway, let's go back and see what's coming up here. Can't wait for the ATF and NFA to be abolished. I'm right there with you, dude. I can't wait. Let's see. Very rare to see a end user using the 3D waterfall. Yeah, I really have to agree, Ed. I absolutely. I turned it on because the 3D waterfall has cool factor, unbelievable cool factor. I mean, it just looks bitchin'. But as far as a useful waterfall, I totally agree. I switched it out and I'm running, like a regular type waterfall. Roger says it's an excellent radio. It's his primary HF station at the house. In his Go box, he has an 891 with a half wave antenna. Best field setup he's ever had. Personally love the DX10. You know what? I am a huge fan, even before doing the review, because you know what you like. I I am, and I don't have all the lights on, so it's hard for me to show this radio. Another. I'm gonna do another video. I'm gonna do a complete video on this thing, but it has all the controls that I wanted in the right places. It does everything. It's very, very intuitive. Never had to crack the book for anything. And we've been able to do, we ran Winter Field Day on it. And Lance, actually, he bought this for his portable use. And he said he's only fired it up 2 or 3 times. So it was basically brand new in the box. And the box is sitting out there in Studio B. I just pulled this thing here into Studio A right before the show here because I wanted to show you guys. First time ever in Studio A that there's been a new radio since the creation of Studio A. Let's see. Mine is a first generation and had 0 problems out of it. Knock on wood. Some countries go another way. Hang on here. This is the Swede, I believe. Some countries go the other way. More Israelis urged to carry guns after the weekend of terror. Netanyahu expanded gun licensing. Yeah, here's the problem. And, don't get me wrong. Yeah, Israel's got the right idea. Everybody is in the military. I think that's compulsory. So, between whatever ages, you're going to do your military service, which I agree with. Everybody should. Or police or fire, do something to earn your keep in your country. I think that it's great that that Israel is encouraging people to use more or to carry more. I think it is great that they are expanding licensing. We are the only country in the world here in the U.S. that we shouldn't have licensing. There shouldn't be any kind of gun licensing. FOIA cards, I believe, are unconstitutional. These extended wait periods on background checks are unconstitutional. The NFA is unconstitutional. The ATF should not exist. A lot of these things, and honestly, if you're not from the U.S., a lot of this stuff, you're going to go, I don't know what the hell that is. And I get it. We have the Second Amendment, and the Second Amendment is crystal clear. It's crystal clear in my mind. It's crystal clear in the Supreme Court's mind. That is my gun license, is the Second Amendment. And that's the only thing it should be. And luckily here in Idaho, in the great state of Idaho, they believe it. And they have extremely strong gun laws. So much so that that we have a state law that says no municipality, no city or county can pass a more restrictive gun law. And as a matter of fact, the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance is going to court. They're arguing today in the Idaho Supreme Court about a case a few years back. They're arguing a case from a few years back. It was after one of the California shootings. It was the Garlic Festival shooting. And the city basically gave permission for some outside company or organization to do I think it was like a 2 or 3 day festival somewhere, somewhere in the Boise area, let's say. And that company or organization decided, hey, we're going to make this a gun-free zone. Can't bring your guns in. Well, the state law specifically says that no government entity can stop you from carrying within any park or facility like that. So it's like the city gave away the right to regulate the Second Amendment in a park. That's what's going up to the state Supreme Court today. Anyway, I know way beyond what you guys really care about, but hey, if you care about your Second Amendment right, you absolutely have to start writing these legislators, even your local ones. I mean, on the ATF thing, I wrote all my local, my state representatives too, and I said, hey, including the governor, and I explained to him, hey, yes, I understand the ATF is a federal thing, but the state can pass something. They can pass legislation here that says no state resources can be used to assist in the execution of a federal search warrant or to use. No police, no Idaho state, county, or city police can be used to assist them on execution of their search warrants or anything. Let the ATF come to Idaho on their own and see how far they get by doing this on their own. Anyway, I wrote all my legislators, all the state reps and everything, and said, hey, you guys can have the power to pass something like that. And that makes a huge difference. California did something just like that with illegal aliens. And they said no state or county or city resources or law enforcement will be used in the apprehension or assisting federal authorities in the apprehension of illegals. So why can't we do the same thing with the Second Amendment? And if they want to go after law-abiding citizens for made-up crap that they make up, a rule, not even a law, it's a rule, and they want to put people in prison for some kind of an administrative rule that they dream up. Make them work for it. Let's see. So, you're not here for the alcohol, says Bill Peterson. Nope, really could care less about the alcohol. And the alcohol and the tobacco part of the ATF is kind of a joke. I think they don't do anything. They enforce a tax stamp, and that can be done a million ways. That could be done at the state level, I think, and it should be done at the state level. If the state wants to impose a tax on alcohol and tobacco, let them do it. And leave. And you know what? We could get rid of another 3-letter federal bureaucracy. Ed Griffin says a license-free concealed carry bill was introduced in Florida legislative session today. Waiting to see how the rhinos block or water it down. You know what? Sorry to hear that. Ours is strong. I know Wyoming is super, super strong. You just got to keep putting the pressure on these guys. Let them know that if they don't do it, you, the people of Florida, will vote them out next time. Or if it's so bad, if they're doing so poorly, let them know that, hey, we can recall you, especially in these smaller districts. It doesn't take that many people in that district to call a special election and get rid of the rhinos. Make them act like a conservative. Don't have any assault guns, but I do have a assault gun. Yeah, I have assault, and what is it? Assault gun. I love that thing. But man, it makes a mess around the house. It really does. But man, during fly season, that thing is fun as hell. If you guys haven't seen one, it's called a salt gun. Wow. What else you guys want to talk about? I was wondering, for those of you, bug assault. That's it. Bug assault gun. Thank you, Mr. Good Skills. The DX Commander is in the house. Hey, Bob, just dropping in to say hi. We don't have guns over here, so it's pretty easy. Anyway, back to the edit. Catch you later. Callum, thanks for dropping by, and thanks for making such great DX Commander antennas. I've got mine outside of Studio A here, and great antenna. As a matter of fact, Callum, if you're still in there, I think I'm going to order some more parts and make another one. I think I'm going to, just because I want to. Let's see. John and Soul Huntley. Do you use a sound mixer for ham? I don't. I guess I could, but really, I actually do have this radio on channel 3 here. Except I do, when I turn, when all the studio lights are on in here, it absolutely, it makes the radio go crazy. There's stray RF everywhere. So it doesn't work real well when I've got the place lit like this. Let's see. Yeah, we can do some parts. Well, thank you, Callum. That's awesome. Let's see. What else? I would love to be able to filter this thing. And I don't know, maybe I'll have to call Callum on the off time, because I'm sure that he actually is able to run his radio with all the studio lights on. And I'm sorry, guys, these lights are just, I mean, it's, here, let's pull up the like, there's the main light that's over everything here. There's camera 1 right there in front of the screen, camera 2 over here. There's my main light. And then I've got lighting behind the cabinet. That doesn't really affect anything. And then I've got one more light back there. I'm giving away all my trade secrets. And I've got that one on green. That's God, I forget the name of those things. Anyway, that's the setup here. Oh, and then let's see here, the Rodecaster and the Rode mic right there. and Mac #1 monitor over there, and the big TV, which is also a monitor over there. And that's the bulk of Studio A. Over on the other side there, I've got the Wires X node and a few goodies over there and all the networking stuff. But that's it. That's Studio A, guys, behind the scenes. Not much to it. Let's see. I think that's my next antenna is the DX Commander. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's a great antenna. Low noise for a vertical, and it works well. It doesn't take up a big footprint at all. It's a very, very small footprint. Am I doing more D-Star? TM. Am I doing more D-Star or more Wires X lately? You know, man, this last week I've been kind of busy and I haven't done much of either. I've got a Fusion repeater up, the K6UDA repeater. If you're in the Magic Valley area, it is 444-500 positive offset. I also have a Wires X node up. It is room 04. What is it? 48. I forget. And I've got everything. I've got the display over there off right now, and I'm not going to get up. But you can access that from the old YouTubers FCS room, and then Wires X. It is the Southern Idaho Command or the Idaho Command. So I guess I would say I do more Fusion because the area here is lousy with Fusion repeaters. There is in this area here of say about 100,000 people in this entire area, not just Twin Falls. There's about 60,000 people in Twin Falls. 13 Fusion repeaters, most of which are hooked up to a Wires X node. So I'm hooked up to a Wires X node. I've got the Idaho Command, which hasn't gotten a lot of traffic, and I haven't done a lot with it lately, but I do have the repeater up. It's fun to do. I just upgraded the repeater. I screwed up my my DR1, and while I sent that off to Yaesu to have him fix it, I bought a DR2X, and I've got that out there right now. Now I haven't really dug into it. I just kind of duplicated what I had on the DR1, put the repeater up on the air and let it go, and that was kind of it. I got to dig in. I want to really, I set them up so I can learn. I want to learn about repeaters and how everything works. Got a cool little set of cans. I don't know if that's something that interests you guys. I can do a little video about it. I might do a little video anyway. Who knows? But that's housed out in Studio B, and does fairly well. It's accessible most places in town in Twin Falls. The antenna is really super compromised. It's to the east. It's hidden by my shop, by the Studio B building. I'm trying to get that up in the air. I'm going to order a bigger pole, and I think I'm going to change out the antenna. Excuse me. The antenna that's on it right now is it's a big UHF commercial antenna. And I think for my purposes, I could probably order another Comet X50 or something lightweight that I could, put on a pole, stick it up and strap it to the building and have the thing sitting well above the building, which would, I think, get the signal out way better. It would become, instead of a super low level repeater, I think it would become a medium level repeater. Anyway, that's it on that. So I would say, yeah, probably a little bit more into the Wires X thing right now. But I do have over here, I do have my 705, which lives right here in Studio A. And that's set up on 30 Charlie. So, let's see. Roger says, been a pleasure, Bob. He's got to go do some honeydew stuff, and he'll catch me on the next one. Hey, thank you. Thanks, Roger. Thanks for showing up. 24 people on the stream. I got 30 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. I don't care. Thumbs up, thumbs down, as long as you do something. And if you're watching this on the replay later on, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, please. Leave a comment. And let's see. I post these videos now on my Rumble channel. It's an hour long. Maybe I'll take them apart and make small ones and put them up on Rumble. I would rather have you guys watch these 2A videos on Rumble. I know a lot of the big YouTubers that are more right-leaning do stuff on Rumble, and they do stuff on YouTube, and they cater their language and everything so they don't get demonetized on YouTube. The big gun tubers do the same thing. And I think it does us, the audience, a little bit of a disservice when we're still trying to beat that YouTube algorithm and beat their censors at their own game by not saying what we mean or doing things in a more agreeable tone to those powers that be. I wish. I wish more people like you and I would go to Rumble and watch those videos, watch those gun tubers over on Rumble. I would even go so far as to make your comments over on Rumble, because it'll encourage those guys, and me for that matter, to make more content and post it there. When I do my regular 2 Alpha videos, not in front of everybody live, but when I do a regular, couple of minutes here and there, talk about one subject, I'm posting exclusively to Rumble. And I'm getting far fewer views than any one of these ever get. And there's a reason, because, number one, YouTube is so big, but, and the creators, we're like any other commodity. We want to get the word out to as many people, or in front of as many sets of eyes as we can. And I get it. Because I'm one too. That's why I like doing the straight K6UDA radio stuff. I don't mind doing it on YouTube. I would, again, if I could get half the audience to watch on Rumble it would be so huge. It would be such a big shift in the dynamic. And if you and I could go on to Rumble and watch some of these other gun tubers, comment on their video over there, watch their video over there, you would find that the content is going to get a whole lot better. Because if they've got the numbers starting to kind of even out between YouTube over here on the left, well, there's your left. There's my left. If the content or the eyeballs are kind of even between the two, I would much rather post on Rumble and screw the YouTube platform, because they've been screwing us for years and they don't think anything about it. Anyway, guys, does anyone have anything else? I really, we're coming up on the hour here, and I think it's been a good talk. We've had a lot of fun. 26 people in the house right now, 35 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. And I don't see much coming back in the way of the comments in the last couple of minutes here. So I want to say, please like, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification. Hello, Mrs. K6UDA. Once again, hit that bell notification to subscribe over here. Please go over to rumble.com/K6UDA. Give a like to the K6UDA channel over there. Subscribe to me over there, and please watch the playback. If you're gonna watch the playback, watch it over there. That would be huge. And together, maybe we could start kind of changing the dynamic of the YouTube monopoly. Anyway, my friends, I'm gonna say 7-3. It's been fun, and we'll see you on the next video, and I will see you next week. Hopefully, I'll be a little bit more prepared, and we'll have everything dialed in again over here. For my ham friends, 7-3 guys. For my 2A friends over here, guys, I'm Bob Radowski, and I will catch you later. See ya.